You're listening to Entrepreneur's Enigma, a podcast about the ups and downs of the entrepreneurial journey. Every week, your host Seth Goldstein interviews entrepreneurs from all walks of life about their entrepreneurial journeys. From store owners to Fortune 500 CEOs, we all have stories to tell. So sit back and join us for the next 20 or so minutes while we explore the entrepreneurial world.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. I'm your host as always, Seth, with Podcast Mastery and Goldstein Media. Today I have the Jim Carrey with a PhD, Dr. Danny Brassell, right?
Brassell, but it's fine.
I'm sorry, I should ask before the show how to do it right. Oh, I'm sorry, my friend.
You're fine.
But he is a highly sought after speaker, trainer, and coach. He's authored, I can't get that word out, more than 21 books. 21 books. Let's let that sink in. And this is all before ChatGPT. So, come on now. Hey now. Including The Leadership Begins With Motivation and Misfits and Crackpots. I love that. He is the co-founder of Well Crafted Story, TM. Danny helps entrepreneurs, individuals, and organizations leverage speaking on stages as a major client lead source that converts. So, hey, Danny, how's it going?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me, Seth. More importantly, thanks for spreading some joy in the world. We need more of you, my friend.
Woo! Hey, there it is. I just noticed Misfits and Crackpots right behind you there. I see it. Very nice. You got a good bookshelf. I can appreciate a good bookshelf for those who are watching the video. You're kind of wedged in there too.
Yeah.
You got not a lot of space behind you. That's wild, man. So how did this all get started? What's your origin story?
Well, if I was going to write an autobiography, Seth, it would probably be called Pivots, because I feel like I've already lived 9 lives. 30 years ago, I was
so you're a cat.
Yeah. 30 years ago, I was a journalist covering President Bush Sr. in the 1992 presidential election. I loved my job. I got to meet every editor of every major daily. And one editor offered me the city beat for $16,500 a year. Meanwhile, a friend
which back then was not that bad of a price.
Yeah, wasn't great either. But meanwhile,
I know.
A friend told me they were hiring teachers in South Central Los Angeles for $25,000 a year. So I became a teacher for the noblest of reasons, Seth, for the high pay. And I actually fell in love with teaching. I've taught all age levels, from preschoolers all the way up to rocket scientists. I can make that claim because I used to teach English as a second language to engineering students at the University of Southern California. And in 2000,
oh wow, they can do chemistry, they can do everything that goes in rocket science except for English.
Yeah,
so you helped fill that gap.
People just thought they were stupid because they couldn't speak English. They were studying to be physicists, but they didn't speak English, so it gave me empathy. And then in 2005, my wife and I attended a real estate seminar, which turned out to be a scam, and we lost everything.
Oh no.
Actually. And I could give you the woe is me story, but I'm a positive person. I learned a lot from the experience. First of all, I learned my wife is my soulmate. I put her through the ringer and she stood right by me. She's an incredible human being. Second of all, I learned that money's not everything, because you can lose money just like that. Third,
it's so easy to lose money. It's so easy to lose money.
Very easy. Third, I try not to judge other people anymore, Seth, because if I was somebody who saw what I had done, I would have said, well, you deserve that. But now I realize, unless you know everything about a person, you really don't know anything about a person. Fourth, I became a Christian, which I'm always embarrassed to confess it took a catastrophe. But the more I read my Bible, I realize I'm not the first screw up to find Jesus. And then fifth,
there you go.
I didn't want to file bankruptcy, and my accountant said, well, you have to earn this much more money this year. And so I started speaking on the side, and I get that number right on the number. Well, the next year, Seth, he gave me a much higher number, and I hit that number right on the number. So in year 3, I thought, well, maybe I should set a higher number. And basically, during one of the worst economic downturns in American history, I was able to build up a highly lucrative speaking business, which eventually attracted the attention of some pretty famous people and companies who were asking me to coach them. And I have to confess, I resisted that.
Another pivot. Hey, I'm a coach now. Another pivot. Now I'm the coach.
Yeah, now I'm the coach. And I resisted it for a long time, Seth, because you need to know this about me. I'm obsessive compulsive. I will not let you fail. I will be on your back, holding you accountable until you
Love it.
succeed. Well, now that I work primarily with entrepreneurs and business owners and executives, I find that they're highly motivated. They do the work. It's probably been the most gratifying work I've ever done. So,
It's amazing having people actually do the work and listen, because kids don't. Kids will do everything possible to get around the corner, cut the corners.
well, it's good.
But when
They're
you're an
training
entrepreneur, you'll
ground.
listen.
They're a tougher bunch than CEOs. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, and they whine less. I found that
I
CEOs
do won't.
whine a lot more. Do I have to?
Yeah.
Well, do you want to make that the 6 figures, the 7 figures this year? Yes, you do. Exactly. So you've been through the ringer. You've done pivots. You've like you found Jesus. I mean, there you go. I mean, like we're gonna take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show. I mean, you've done a lot, and you're a former journalist, which hits home for me because I'm a recovering journalist myself. So I don't say former, I say recovering because you all have to recover from that.
Yes, we
So
do.
exactly, I mean, so you've done quite a bit. What is the best thing about being the entrepreneur?
Well, I mean, I love that quote, entrepreneurship. I can't remember who said it, but she said it was a woman. She said, entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so you can live the rest of your life so like most people can. And I like setting
Ooh,
my
that's a
own
good one.
agenda, and every day is a new challenge. I enjoy it.
Mhm.
But I loved it with journalism too. The only problem I had with journalism, I became a journalist because I wanted to be the next Charles Kuralt and travel around America and do all these cool human
Ooh,
interest
yeah.
stories about all the positive things happening. And then they put me on the political beat, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh, that'll do it to you, yeah. I went into journalism because I had the romantic notion of a Woodward and Bernstein,
Uh,
sticking to the man and uncovering the crap out there. And man, I did the police beat, and that wore me down after 6 years.
now,
Oh, the stuff I saw. I would know, it is what it is. Police, EMS, they all get counseling afterwards. We get to do the obituary. That's the whole. Then I was like, after 6 years, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Went into my editor. I said, I need a break. I need a vacation. I'm giving you my 2 weeks. He's like, you can have your 2 weeks, but you can leave now. I'll give you 2 more weeks of pay. Just, I get it. And he got it. I mean, I have binders full of news clips. Every time I got a news clip, every obituary I wrote, every funny story I wrote, every police story I wrote, I have every clip possible photocopied, because back then these were broadsheets. And most people don't know what a broadsheet is, but this is back in the early aughts, and you photocopy things.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So you went from journalism to teaching,
Yeah.
and then the whole gambit of teaching. What was your favorite level of teaching? What did you find? I mean, obviously entrepreneurs because they listen, but of the educational side of things, not the coaching side of things, what was your favorite age group?
Well, I did it the wrong way, Seth. I started off with high school students, and then I went to middle
Oh,
school
geez.
students, to upper elementary, to lower elementary, to pretty soon, instead of preparing kids for college, I was coming home with snot marks all over my pants from my little ones hugging me all the time. And I found what works with a 12th grader does not necessarily work with a kindergartner, but what works with a kindergartner works with all age levels. So the little ones always,
Isn't that amazing?
they're great.
Works with rocket scientists too. If you can reason with a kindergartner, you can reason with a rocket scientist.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote a letter to the editor of a newspaper recently. They didn't publish it because they're stupid. Because the article, the article basically was about how the president and Congress were behaving like children, and the gist of my letter was that is such an insult to children because children get over it. Adults,
Yeah.
adults are the ones that hold grudges. I mean, kids will get in a fight in
Oh,
10 minutes.
and they didn't
With my
publish that?
girlfriend.
And they didn't publish it. That was a great letter to the editor.
Nah,
Oh, whatever. They're lost. They're
that's
lost.
right.
So obviously entrepreneurship is what you love to do. What keeps you up at night as an entrepreneur? Because you're constantly doing the stuff.
What keeps me up at night is when I have a client that I find that I'm more concerned about their success than they are, and usually
Yeah.
what I do is I get rid of that client because if they're not going to do the work, I'm not going to sit there because I mean I always tell my clients, you're kind of stuck with me for life because I'm going to check in with you every couple of months to make sure you're on track. Because it was actually one of the reasons, quite honestly, Seth, that
Mm-hmm.
I had to leave teaching because I'm a perfectionist. I have a very high standard.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see people not striving for the best, it really annoys me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you gotta aim for the best. Even if you don't achieve the best, you gotta at least strive for the
Oh, yeah.
best.
I don't have a problem if a person doesn't meet the goal, but they better be pursuing it.
I agree with that fully. So what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
Most important thing now is probably my phone. That's where that's where I always put all
You
my
live by it.
ideas. I'm constantly speaking into it. Most people waste time on social media on these things. I use it as an
Yeah.
educational tool. So like I have updates all the time. So like I recently read Dune and there's a thing called Litany
Ooh,
Against.
that's an achievement right there. That's a big book.
It is a big book. Frank Herbert, he really wasn't succinct in his writing, but there's a thing in there called the Litany Against Fear. So I've been practicing it every day at 9:11. I have an alert on my phone that goes, "I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over and through me. And when the fear has passed, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain." See, I've been practicing it, so I got it. Uh,
Wow,
yeah,
good
I'm trying
job.
to learn verses from the Bible. So right now the verse I is Colossians 3:23. So every day at 3:23, I
Oh,
I
that's clever.
practice whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Okay, so I've been practicing that one. I got married on
Any Shakespeare in there?
what?
Any
Oh yeah, so
Shakespeare?
Shakespeare. So that
Of course.
every Sunday at 4:04 is Act 4, Scene 4 from Henry V, which is the St. Crispian Day speech, which I'm not going to do that whole thing for you, but that's like 50 lines.
No, they're long-winded. Talk about long-winded.
It's the one, well, that's a great one. It's the Band of Brothers speech. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother, be he ever so well. Uh, uh,
And so on and so forth.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
I
Shakespeare, I've read every Shakespeare play. And do I remember any of them? No, because they all kind of blend together because the way he writes, they kind of blend together, and like, the tragedies blend together and the comedies blend together. The comedies you have to know about Shakespeare are not always ha 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 comedies. This
yeah,
means that this means no one died,
yeah,
and the tragedies means everyone died.
that's right.
Oh my God. So Danny, where is the biggest place you hang out online? I know you say you don't really hang out on social that much, but if you had to pick one area that people can come find you and experience the joy that is Danny.
Goodness, that's a good question. I don't know where I really spend a lot of time on. I spend most of my time reading. I mean,
Well, we got a lot of books behind
yeah,
you.
if
Yeah,
I'm
we
going to
are.
go online, it's always just to pursue like stories. You and I,
Mhm.
we're former journalists.
Yeah,
I'll read an entire book that stinks, but if there's one good little story in there, I'm like, oh, that was worth my time. I mean, I read a book recently
exactly.
on marketing, and it was such a boring book, but there was one story that was great. It was the guy, he was this marketer, he's going around the world trying to figure out the next big thing. He can't find it. So he's in
Mhm.
Chile and he's watching these fishermen fish and they're catching their fish, but then there's a different fish that they're putting in a different bucket. And he's like, oh, you're putting that in a different bucket because you're getting paid for this one. They're like, yeah. And he's like, and I noticed you're eating that one. Is it because you get paid for the other one? And they're like, well, yeah, that's true, but actually this is a tastier fish. And so he's like, "Well, may I try it?" And they're like, "Sure." So he tries, he's like, "Oh my gosh, this is great. What's it called?" And they say, "The bonefish." He's like, "The bonefish? That's the stupidest." And he thinks about it. So he imports the fish into the United States. It's now the number one fish served at restaurants in the United States. He changed the name bonefish to Chilean sea bass.
Oh my God. That's worth the whole book.
It was
right
worth
there.
the whole book. I loved it.
Julian Seabass.
Kind of like watching a
is
baseball
called
game that's
Bonefish.
0-0 going into the ninth inning and a person hits a home run. You're like, oh, it was worth the entire game.
It was worth it, and you got your reading done during the seventh inning stretch.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Awesome, Danny. So people can find you online at Danny Brassell. I keep messing up your name.
DannyBrassell.com, yeah. But my last name is
DannyBrassell.com.
really easy to remember how to spell, Seth. It's spelled like Brassell. No, I never took it.
Oh, there you go. Now I'm never going to forget it. There you go.
That's right.
Awesome. So check it out now online. He is accessible. He is very accessible, and we'll see everyone next week.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneur's Enigma, please consider giving us a review in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps us reach new listeners. If you like Entrepreneur's Enigma, consider the other shows on the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcast.net.